Well, it's good to be up this morning and warm by the fire, and just updated my phone and decided I would make a short little video. Wanted to take today to share my testimony. I've done it many times before, but I wanted to put this on YouTube. I've been uploading more videos on my channel, and I'm not going to abuse it, but I wanted to share with you of how I come to know the Lord. I was raised in a wonderful Christian home. You couldn't have better parents. I was taught church. I was taught about church. I was taught about God. I always, all my life, had a respect for God, but knowing salvation and having God in salvation is a total different thing. At a young age, I was supposedly saved as a 9-year-old boy, but I couldn't remember it. And I wondered about my salvation for years. I went to a church that was very good and very positive for a long period of time, and I felt like that I just needed more. I wasn't exactly sure what was going on in my personal life, and it wasn't perfect by no means. But I remember questioning and even asked some of my family about salvation, and they didn't really know what to say to me. But to help speed it up, I became a Gideon in 2007, I think it was, in April, I think it was, that I became a Gideon, and I was handing out Bibles. And at the time, I was traveling around delivering tractors for a living. And I stayed in a little hotel up in Russellville, Alabama. I got in that room, and there was a hardback Gideon Bible. Now, I had been handing out Bibles for over a year, and I just always wondered about, Lord, what would happen if I should die? I got in that room, and there was a Bible laying there on the table in the desk drawer, and it had 3 paragraphs written in the back of that Gideon Bible. It was very difficult to read, but I was able to figure out the words. And one of the sentences that really stuck me is it said to refocus on who Jesus really is. Well, I come to the conclusion, how do you refocus on something you never had? How do you take the time to refocus on something that you never received? It's impossible. I thought about my church days and my church life and how I was honest, and my daddy never had to bail me out of jail. But none of that would give you salvation. Knowing all the church songs wouldn't give you salvation. But I had got back from that trip. About 2 weeks later, I was sitting in my house, and I went back and I was reading the first chapter of the book of Jonah. And the verse that really sort of jerked a knot in me was verse 15. The Bible says that the wind ceased. When they threw Jonah in the water, that the wind ceased. And I thought, it would be really nice to have a God like that would be a God that would come on the scene and help you when you get thrown in. It would be awful nice to have a God that could just say, "Peace be still," to the storm. And it was that night, it was the 26th of August of 2007, that I just simply surrendered. Best thing I've ever done. I didn't actually get into my ministry until several years later, finding out what the Lord wanted me to do. And sometimes I question, even today, what is it that the Lord wants me to do? Well, I've done come to realize that He's given me many open doors to walk through. And I thank Him for His love. I thank Him for His grace. I thank Him for His mercy. Today, if you're out there and you're happening to listen to this, the number one key, if I was to advise anybody, is just get humble. I'm not going to tell you what to say. I'm not going to tell you how to act. I'm not going to tell you not to cry. Just get humble. That thief on the cross got humble. There was one thief that said, if you be the Son of God, you can come and get us off this cross. Save yourself and us. But the other thief said, no, this man has done no wrong. And that man said, Lord, remember me. And sometimes I believe that's where salvation begins. Look at Saul when he was on that road to Damascus. God jerked a knot into him. And old Saul said, Lord, what would you have me to do? What do you want me to do? And I believe that God gave him a job and He gave him a mission. If you're out there today and you're not sure if you was to leave this world, then make sure. If I can help you, look me up. Email me on YouTube. Email me on my website. My website's elderlyministry.com. There's a phone number there. Just go there and we'll sit and talk. I don't mind a bit. Thank y'all for listening.